Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
The views and opinions expressed on Trudging Together are solely those of the host, co-host, and our guests. They do not necessarily reflect the views of any organization, fellowship, or other entity, and definitely not your boss, your neighbor, or that one guy in your home group. The content of this program is not intended to replace medical, psychological, or professional advice. If you're looking for that, please seek guidance from qualified professionals who spent way too many years in school. What you'll hear here is based on lived experience, recovery journeys, and the occasional bad coffee-fueled joke. Trudging Together is not affiliated with any 12-step fellowship. We are simply people sharing our stories and walking this path together, one day at a time. Thank you for joining us, and remember, recovery is serious business, but that doesn't mean we can't laugh along the way.
Welcome. Welcome. Oh, meow. 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 All right, come on up. Come on up. Come on. Come join the party. There you go. This is Jack. Can you say hi? Or do you just want love? You just want your love. You're feeling unloved, buddy. You shouldn't be. Shouldn't be. But happy Wednesday afternoon, everybody. Well, he's keeping me warm, though. Yeah, I hear you, Sawyer. Maybe I'll just kick them all out of the room. Yeah. Well, they're like children. Once you start giving attention to one, the others are like, what about me? See? There he is. Can you hear him whining? Sawyer, go do something. Go clean your head. It stinks. All right. I'm bringing up forgiveness a lot. And, yeah. I don't think I'm really going to get anybody on this one. It's just not the right time of day. It's the day before. So we'll probably have 1-2 people. Oh, I was wrong because there's somebody. I don't know who it is yet. I'm going to check chat. I'm going to put money on Amber. Yep. Yay. Long time no see, Amber. Yeah, I usually go live when I get back from the 2:00 meeting. I ran, wow, it was so cool. It was nice. It was nice to have that happen. Yeah. I'm at Subway in Lochbuie and don't have service here, but hey, they have Subway flavored Wi-Fi's. Why not? Oh, Sawyer, fuck off, man. Seriously. Don't worry, people. He doesn't understand English. He only knows Cantonese. Like cat speaks Cantonese. Right. True. It's true. Yes, dude. God. Now, if that was just sometimes, I probably wouldn't get. Jesus. All right. Maybe Dion's running out of patience for the day. I don't know. Oh no, I handled things where I went outside to go head to the meeting. I was going to try and get some stuff before, and yeah, my car wasn't starting. Battery wasn't quite dead, so I needed to jump it. It's working fine again. I have to remember to go out there and start it every week if I'm not going to really be going anywhere. So, but yes, I grab my wife, do that, and usually I get grumpy about this shit, and I didn't. I handled it great. So I was proud of myself for that. Was able to stay in a good mood. We had enough people at the meeting that number one, we needed the timer, which was cool, and we finally got in trouble. I finally got in trouble for something. So yeah, progress, man. Hey, no worries, not a big deal. All right, so let's get started. Welcome to Daily Trudge. My name is Dion. I'm your host of the Daily Trudge. We do stuff here So, yeah. If you're here, please say hello, whether you're watching the live or the re-watch. Watch out. Chicka chicka. Boom, boom. What's that from? What movie is that from? Boom, boom. Chicka chicka. It's Ferris Bueller's Day Off. All right. Not sure where I'm going to start with this. Because I know the reason that I do forget, but am I truly honestly forgiving? It's something that I'm trying to figure out. I know that forgiveness needs to be in the process at least enough so I can heal. That's the most important thing. And what I want and what I'm going to get might be two different things. What I'd like is for these people to admit that things did happen and take accountability. That would help my forgiveness a lot. But but I got to be careful with that, right? Because if I'm expecting it, then it's going to turn into a demand, which is going to turn into a resentment. And now I'm double downing on my trauma. And that's not going to do me any good either, is it? No. So this is something I'm discovering myself and going through currently. Am I willing to forgive? I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm willing to forgive if it means that there's going to be a solution presented. I'm willing to forgive if it's going to create a healthier thing for me. But I'm not willing to forgive. I'm willing to forgive, but I don't know how willing I am to give up my anger around it. Does that sound right? Doesn't sound quite right to me. But I got a feeling that my alcoholic friends will understand what I'm saying. All right. I think you guys probably do understand that. All right. That I'm willing to forgive, but I don't know that I want to let go of the anger. And the reason that I don't know if I want to do that is because it protects me. But I don't want it to be anger to the point where it's disturbing my life. Is it? Right? Right? Yeah. Yeah. Kind of makes your head spin a little bit. Does mine anyway. Right? So, the thing is that do I really have to forgive? Well, the big book says that resentments kill. And I believe them. I believe what is written in the big book. Even if I don't agree with it, I tend to say, okay, Dion, well, what you think got you drunk, so let's listen to somebody else. Right? There's a part of me that lords that anger over them in my mind. That makes me feel superior because they always put me down, they cut me down. And what I really want to do is build something so big that they have to go, holy shit, Dion, look what you did. And I can say, fuck you. You were wrong. And if those are my motives, guess what's going to happen? That ain't going to happen. Then I'm not going to get what I want. Now I'm triple downing on the resentment towards this person. See how so easily that anger and resentment can build, and like that too. Our brain works really, really fast. Right now, then there are parts of my mind that are like, does this person deserve my forgiveness? What have they done to earn my forgiveness? Can I because, and maybe I'm making this bigger than it needs to be. Good chance of that. I'm an alcoholic. We do that stuff. So I literally just kicked you out 2 minutes ago and you're back. So no, you get love at the 5 o'clock meeting. I'll see you then. Come back then. All right. Yes, that's how I talk to my cats all the time. They don't listen. Like I said, they don't know English. They only know Cantonese. All right. So what is not forgiveness? Okay. What is it? It's not approval. It's not forgiving or forgetting. I'm sorry. It's not having to rebuild the relationship, because that with some people I am not willing to do. But that works out because they don't want it. They don't want it either. But it still happened. There's a part of me that wants justice. Somebody needs to pay for what they did to me. When I did things wrong to other people, I had a set of consequences. All right. So I think the way I'm going to start with this is I'm going to write a letter that may or may not be sent, might not, but I think that's where I'm going to start, so that I can at least get some of these thoughts and things going on paper. Right? Because I found in the 4-step that there is power in pen to paper, and I'm not going to type it out. I need to write it in this case. Right? Which means I probably shouldn't send it, because nobody will be able to read it, because my handwriting is atrocious. Sometimes I'm like, what does that say, Dion? Right? It's releasing our emotional bondage. The part that gets me is, why is it always on my side that I always have to do the shit? These are the same people that told me I was a horrible person, that I needed to be better, that I was an alcoholic, that I need to get help. When people tell me to do something that they have not done themselves, or they're not willing to do themselves, I have a hard time with that. I have a really hard time with that. Yay, home in 15 minutes. It's always good to get home, huh? Yeah. Especially when you got a good home. I love the people I live with. It wasn't that way when they moved in. It took some time to get adjusting. Especially when they're your kids, right? So, why forgiveness matters in recovery. Well, here's the big thing. When I get angry and get into resentment, I'm not in the sunlight of the spirit, and then I'm not as much used to people around me. And I like feeling useful. I like being useful. It's one thing, because I wasn't a good portion of my life. I like that people can rely on me. I like that I'm consistent, and that I show up when I say I'm going to show up. I try and be loyal to my friends. I try and I try and utilize an unconditional love with everybody that I meet, so that we can find solutions together and not be divided. Um, but some days I just don't want to put any effort into it. Been a while since I didn't want to put any effort into it. Been a long time. Knock on faux wood. All right. So I mean, and I understand, but part of what I'm going through isn't necessarily a resentment either. And we talked about resentments and trauma yesterday. Um, so not everything that I'm going through is a resentment. Some of it I need to do. There are certain walls that I still have up, and I don't know that those are ever going to go down, but they protect me from abuse. Right? Um, I love it when I meet people who are genuinely themselves. I get excited. Happened at the meeting today. Hi, Amber. I'm like, that person ain't fake. I want them on the show, because then we're going to get real answers. I love it when people are, even if it means you're going to be weird, or you're doing something that people might find disruptive, or maybe you're doing something that maybe I don't appreciate, but at least you're being yourself and you ain't being fake about it, man. I can appreciate that, because 98% of what I meet is fake. And it doesn't matter where I go, what I do, there it is. and I can detect it from a mile away. It's like a spidey sense. So, yeah, that's the big one. I don't want to That's the other thing. I also don't want these people to have enough power that I am allowing that to remove me from the sunlight of the spirit, because only I can allow that, right? See, I don't want to give them that much power either. Well, they say the best revenge is a happy life. Even that's a little too close to resentment for me. Karma will take care of them. Here's the thing, I hear people say, "Well, you got to let God, delve out the consequences or whatever." Okay? I I don't totally agree with that. I don't. Now, I get it, that's between them and their higher power. But there's also a part of me where if you do something to me, and I know that's a trait that you have, I might try and shut it down, because if you do it to the next person, the way I feel is that is on me also. There is a consequence to that. That maybe it happened to me because I had enough courage to be able to step up or say something, or because maybe I have a solution and that's why God's presenting it to me. Not all the time, but most of the stuff that happens in my life, yeah, God's wanting me to help out. It doesn't mean I'm the solution person, but the very least what I can be is somebody that's willing to hold a little bit of time for you so you can get off your chest what you need to get off your chest. Why can't I be that? Yeah. So, do I need to forgive? Do I really, really have to forgive? The quick answer is yes. The longer version is yes for you, not for the other person. Mm-mm. That's not required. Because the only way I can actually give them true forgiveness is if they admit it first. Otherwise, I can't truly forgive. I don't know that it's in me. Because at the same time, I'm not God. I don't get to decide who goes to heaven, because that's why most people want forgiveness, because they want to get into heaven. Yeah, I don't blame them, right? So emotional sobriety, right, cannot exist without release. So, and what is this emotional sobriety? Not utilizing other people to make me feel the way that I do. That includes anger. That doesn't just have to do with your regular stuff. That has to do with anger. And anger leads to resentment, resentment leads to the dark side, so on and so forth. Um, and step work, when we do step work, it repeatedly tells us to let go. Now, if I could just let it go, I would have been done with it a long time ago. Some of the things that I do in life are instilled with me. Some of my makeup of who I am is because those things happened to me. And I'm not going to ignore who I am either. No. See, do I agree with the concept of let go, let God? Absolutely, I do. God save me from being angry. How can I be of service? Right. But what I'm not going to do is just let something happen and not, you know, okay. What I can't do is use let go, let God as an excuse to not do what I need to do. Yeah, I can't do that. And, I'm going to let you know now, a lot of people don't have the same setup that I do. I have plenty of time to be able to help other people out, and that's what I do. If I wanted to sit around all day and do nothing, I could do that too. But no, I'm in a position to be able to help people. So I take my personal time and I help other people. Sorry, it's just the screaming sometimes. So, hold on a second. All right. Bet the parents are outside because that's when he starts screaming. They have to go outside and talk on the phone every now and again. So anyway, so how do we get how do we get there? Because in order to heal from trauma, safety is kind of required. You need to feel safe first. That's usually where therapy comes in, or maybe a closed mouth friend. Right? I talked to my therapist yesterday about something that only one other person in this whole world knows about. That'd be my wife. It took years to get to that point. Right. But my therapist and I are so close that she told me about how she kicked her boyfriend out because he was drinking. She's like, yeah, I booted his ass to the curb. She talks to me about all sorts of stuff. I've been seeing her for like 4 years now, and we've gotten close. And I'm sorry, it doesn't matter who you are. Hanging around Dion's just kind of comfortable, and you tend to talk about things that you usually probably wouldn't talk about other people. It's one of the things that, you know, I used to take that and abuse it. Now I utilize that to let people know that I'm there for them. I know it might sound egotistical, but I give people permission to heal, man. I'm a healer. Just being around me sometimes. I don't know what it is. I don't need to know. I do know that it happens though. And it's been that way my whole life. Well, not my whole life because, I don't have any friends, but what kids are like seeking other people to hang out with to heal when you're, 8. So resentment needs inventory and surrender, but both of them, all of this needs God. Man. And it needs God, but I'm a little upset with God at the moment. I need some help. There's enough of the suffering. That was yesterday. I'm not as upset with him today. I woke up this morning and I was just a different person. I feel different. I think it has to do with therapy yesterday and some other things. Dude, go find something to do. Not in the mood for a bunch of cats on me at the moment. All right. So how can we start? We got to pray for willingness, right? Earlier, I said, I don't know. I didn't know if I was willing. So that's where I'm going to need to start, right? I'm going to have to pray for willingness. At the moment, I don't know that I'm willing to do that. I don't know. And these are dangerous areas to be in because we should never say no, never. Okay? But I'm not going to be dishonest about it either. I don't want to forgive. I don't really want to forgive some of these people. What I want is a room where I can beat the crap out of them. I want them to hurt as bad as I do. And that is revenge, something I can't do. So now I'm putting myself in a rock and a hard place, right? So I'm going to have to pray for some willingness to be willing. I'm kind of willing to do that. Ask God to remove my resentment, talk it out, step work. This is all great stuff, but this will not, it's not going to do, it's not going to, when it comes to trauma, it's kind of like alcoholism. You get it to a certain point and then you need to maintain it. I can tell you now, if I ever find a way out of all this on the other side, I will let you know. I'll tell everybody, but I can't find anybody that has an answer so far. All right. Maybe the answer of what we have needs to be good enough. And that's something that Dion's going to need to work with. All right. I know they say forgive and forget, but I will never forget. I'm not capable. If I wanted to if I wanted to forgive and forget, I'd go back to drinking because drinking made me forget. It sure did. This stuff doesn't come up when I'm drinking. Hmm. Now that's not a valid solution, okay? But it would work for a minute. For a minute. Then tomorrow, the hell that would come with everything else. No thanks. No. To me, it's not worth having 10 minutes of peace in my head because that's all I'm gonna get. Towards the end of my drinking, we sat down and my wife figured because I'm like, I only get a certain amount of being okay per day. It was 10 minutes a day. That's all it was. That's all it was. So, all right. I guess I gotta open a meeting here shortly. I guess I'll go. I'm willing to do that. So let's do. Um, Amber says I don't have to forgive, but I do need to accept it. And I'm at that, and I would absolutely agree. I've accepted that it did happen, which was really, really hard. So maybe that's the side. Maybe, and I just kind of did that recently because I told the whole truth to somebody. So maybe now I'm on the other side of that, and I need to give it a little bit of time until that willingness comes along. So in the meantime, until I know that, now I can utilize let go and let God. Now it's valid. Thank you for that, Amber. See, it just need to know a little bit of acceptance. Yeah. All right. All right. Thank you all for being here. That being Amber. I love you. You know I do. Peace out and keep on trudging.